Welcome to the channel. It's December 7th, 2025. And I hope the day has treated you kindly. Let's tap right in and get a storyline for the collective, shall we? Got a little bit of a different view today. Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, please give me a storyline for the collective. Storyline for the collective. What's happening in this planetary situation? Please, Spirit, Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, what is happening with this planetary situation, please? What's happening upon the planet, please, and thank you. What does the collective need to know? All right, in the central energy, we've got the Six of Wands here. Public recognition, some kind of an achievement. In the challenge position, Six of Swords, moving on to calmer waters, releasing something, some kind of baggage. In the subconscious, we've got the Lovers, Power of Two. Just now that song, I get so emotional, baby, every time I think of you. I get so emotional, baby, ain't it shocking what love can do? Some folks out there thought that malice and brutalization was the way to go, you know, domination. But love is victorious. In the recent past, you've got the Two of Wands, reconciliation. Reconciled, making progress, leaving home. This is the timeline adjustment that's happening. Intentions and expectation as well. We've got the Temperance in the reverse. So you're leaving home, and the expectation is that somebody's going to be losing balance. Somebody's out of balance. Somebody's losing their mind. Because you're reconciled, you're moving on, you are in union, and that means that somebody's they've lost the Temperance angel, the one who holds their own SHIT together. In the near future, we've got Judgment in the reverse. There could be some kind of punishment or destruction happening. The lens is being looked through. Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. They could still be up to it in the environment. Five of Pentacles. Hopes and fears. 10 of Wands. And the outgoing energy. Ten of Pentacles. The bottom of the deck, we've got the Star here. This star is a healer, revitalization. They have said in the past that you have had a miraculous recovery. Somebody who is causing you an illusion or illusions about you are defeated. They're experiencing a painful ending. Most High God, the Hierophant, and King of Wands is here, overcoming challenges. And it's all for love. Ace of Cups and Four of Wands. It's all for love. Yeah. Somebody is getting left behind, or somebody is very disappointed because your hard work has offered you an opportunity to persevere through challenge. Somebody wants to defend their beliefs regarding theft and abusive relationships. There is a celebration here because there's a sudden change. Those who were abusive, the bullies, they're not getting any more services. They're being cut off. They're in a tower. You have done your research and you have discovered the truth about what has been happening here. And you're bringing a close to that cycle with the World card. And you're coming into the fruits of your labor. Nine of Pentacles, life of luxury. You are the truth. Queen of Swords. You've brought forward the truth of what has been happening regarding this fraud and trickery. And so there's difficult decisions being made. You are avoiding these people, these tricksters and frauds, and you're disconnecting from them. You're in your chariot, and you're victorious over this due to your courage and your persistence. We've got the King of Swords here also. Has made a good investment, bringing death to the devil. For the history of what has been done here regarding creating conflict for the Empress, Divine Mother figure. All right. Well, there's that. Somebody tried to tell me that using these cards in this way are the devil's work. And the thing about it is that I hear these entities, these masculines that are very abusive, all day long talking smack about how they went to harm a woman. And I use the cards just to gather details about what I hear all day long. This is not superstitious devil's work. This is just a tool that helps me relay what I gather throughout the day regarding planetary invasive species using religion and relationship to dominate the consciousness and the lives of humanity. And they love to degrade and defile, to blame and shame, and to unalive in a very traumatic way. Women and the children that come from them and the men who support them. This invasive species presents to be a man made in the image of God. And yet it's always religion bringing war. Everybody wants to fight over who God loves most and who's worshiping the Creator right. So childish. 6 of Wands, public recognition and victory here. Love child. Love child. You're a love child. A child of love. And the Father loves you. 6 of Swords. Releasing baggage and leaving the disruption behind. Moving on. Memories. So you're leaving behind the past. There is a new, what I'm gathering, since you're leaving the past behind, you are in a love union here, reconciled. Thug. 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 Two of Wands. You're leaving home. Happiness. Reconciled. Your goals have been attained. Ghosted. Off and on. Hot and cold. Detached. You're detached from the hot and cold, from the off and on, from the reckless sex, from the non-committal. And that's leaving them in a temperance reversed energy. They could be having, doing drugs, getting drunk. You might be a love child. Funeral in the reverse. So somebody's in a temperance reversed energy because they couldn't unalive you. They were not able to sacrifice you. It was an unsuccessful sacrifice of a temperance angel. They were not able to sacrifice this temperance angel. We've got judgment in the reverse. There's a punishment. And goodbye. Goodbye. Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. You're leaving behind the trickster, the fraud. Of course, you know, they want to paint themselves as you here in the 3D. They want to see, they know who you are in the spirit, And they're trying to mimic you in here in the 3D space to take credit for your life in that other realm. They're committing fraud here. And you're leaving them. Living in the moment. Betrayal. Stealing from people. Having a great vacation. Getting away with something fancy. Going on vacations. Now they're in a 5 of Pentacles. Everything that these fancy, luxurious lifestyles were all based on what they could steal from others. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. Defeat. And isolation regarding romance. Regarding the strength of 2 together. 10 of Wands. They could be in a heavy 10 of Wands burden because this is the completion of your burden. They were not able to sacrifice you. We got Psycho. It's a completion of you carrying the burden of a psycho, trickster, fraud. You're coming into the 10 of Pentacles here. Oh, how they want it. They want it. They want to claim it. They actually want to unalive 3D flesh suits and then create an environment that says they were you all along and they're going to take your stuff. They're going to have to do some 3D harm. But there's limitless numbers of universes out there and they just don't have access to all of that anymore because they've lost connection to batteries or those with specific intellectual property and connection. Oh, I love you. Look, you're getting a 10 of Pentacles here. Home, attainment, an inheritance, family, and I love you. Somebody might propose. Somebody wants to propose. Somebody loves you. Somebody loves you. This is the end of you carrying the burden of a psycho, a crazy ex. They were not able to unalive this temperance angel. We've got divine masculine and queen bee. Ah, you have illuminated the truth. The divine masculine and the queen bee has illuminated the truth about this spiritual gangsta. And they're having an ego death because you're leaving them behind, stuck in this illusion that they had created for themselves. They're stuck in some kind of fantasy. And we've got pop the question. Pop the question. So it's like divine masculine is going to offer marriage to the queen bee. They love her. But we've got spam calls. It could be that you're blocking all spam calls because you love yourself. You're not going to be dealing with these backstabbers who were cheating on you, creating illusions regarding you. We could have some shady jackass coming forward with some sweet talk. You made a wish and they're getting shocking news. You're turning your back on them. You're turning your back on this side hustle and they're going round and round and round because there's a separation here between you who are just your normal loving self and these people who have toxic lifestyles. There is a new GPS for the twin flames. And then we've got cope with a love-hate. So it could be that these twin flames are going to get an opportunity to manage themselves well while in the fire of their mate. It could be that somebody has a love-hate thought process about you. They're drinking to cope. They chose a happy single lifestyle. They're fake busy. There could be some kind of legal matters over property, criminal paternity. Yeah, somebody might be sending you a love message. They're having massive regrets over this divine feminine. They may be arrested for doing love spells on this divine feminine. They may be trapped and effed up over you, this Jezebel. Got her under pressure, feeling like SHIT, because you're free of karmic ties. You've learned your karmic lesson. You're free of these karmic ties, and they have bad freaking credit. They have no money. They've got a lot of debt. And you're married here, the strength of two. So you're in a union. And you know the true colors of these sex addicts, these siphoners of sexual energy, and they're not happy. They're not happy. You could be receiving the spiritual gifts because you're seen as faithful and definitely connected to the Most High, creators of all things, which is bad news for somebody, and they're losing sleep because they're in a firestorm. They're in a firestorm because we're closing the cycle of this reckless sex using words of love. Somebody's trying to get readings on you to mirror you. So this is exactly what's happening. You got people doing readings on you, and then they go out and they generate a script, like a play or a movie or whatever. They're like, here, hurry up, write the script. Oh, so-and-so got a Medal of Honor. Okay, wait, we got to write the script, and we got to get you this fake Medal of Honor, and we got to write you in as though this is you, right? Doing all this spiritual, fantastic stuff. And it's weird to me how anybody, I mean, they're not recognized as being great. They have to tell everybody that they are over and over and over again until people actually believe it. Problem is that the magic isn't working. The glamour magic, the love spell magic over the populace's mind isn't working anymore. So we've got Six of Wands, public recognition and victory here. An achievement. You may be a loved child. You may be a loved child of the Heavenly Father. Beloved child of the Most High. There is a change. So you're a beloved, you got a victory here, Six of Wands, a victory, public recognition. You're coming into a ward. We've got loved child. You are a loved child of the Most High Divine. You're bringing about change here. Your victory is bringing about change. There is transformation and evolution occurring here regarding the mirror, this snake, and their practice of mirroring people, copycatting them with lies. So the mirror of the snake, there's a change to this snake's opportunity to mirror you. You are the loved child. You are the loved child divine. And you're in your Six of Swords energy. You're moving on to calmer waters. You are leaving behind this the past, these memories, everything of the past. You're letting it go. You're a beloved child of the Most High. You brought about a change for the mirrors of these snakes. torment. You're leaving behind memories of being tormented. You're leaving it behind. You're a victorious love child of the divine. Bringing a change for the mirror of the snake. Bringing a change for the mirror of the snake. Changing the mirror of the snake. The lies. You're leaving behind the memories of torment, of bondage. The strength of two are here together in union, a partnership. We have a thug. What's going on with the thug? What's happening with the thug? You know, I think people who call laying cards out and reading a story are just upset because they have things to hide and they don't want anybody picking up on it. That's why they vilify it or judge it so harshly. They're afraid they're going to be found out because they're doing shady stuff in the shadows, reading prayers backwards, trying to curse somebody. So the lovers, the strength of two, are here together. We've got a thug here. What's going on with this thug spirit? Trash. This thug, worthless, trash, memories, photographs, thug, trash, photographs. The strength of two together. Thug, trash, photographs. So they're showing the memories. They are revealing, it looks to me like the photos. There could be actual photos of some kind of worthless thug, trash. Take it as it resonates. We've got photos, memories. The thug has photographs that show that they're not as well together as they try to generate a mindset for. You got the Two of Wands here, so there's reconciliation. You could be leaving home. We've got ghosted, detached, divine intervention. So the reckless sex, those who refuse to settle down and be responsible contributors to society. We've got goals are changed. They're being detached. They're leaving. This is divine intervention according to serendipity and a catalyst. Karma is being delivered. They were unable to successfully sacrifice a temperance angel. So now they are getting drunk. Getting drunk. Overindulging. They're overindulging because they could not unalive a temperance angel. This divine intervention is happening here. They had a chosen one that served them well and gave them everything their heart desired. And all they did was hurt this person. And God said, you know what? This person isn't going to serve you anymore. Absolutely not. You will not ever get anything from this person again. This is it. Empty room. Empty room. They're gone. Gone, gone, gone. There's no people. This is the end of your abusers, these tricksters, these frauds. Opportunity. It's the end of their opportunity. We've got, there's a punishment here. Judgment in the reverse. It's just punishment. A great destruction. And it's goodbye. It's goodbye. Ghosted. there's going to be ghosted. They're going to be detached. We've got eternal regret. They're in eternal regret for trickery and fraud and living high on the hog, your sacrificed energy. Pretending to be you, living the life that was yours while you suffered. They thought themselves so freaking clever, so intelligent. Miss you. They miss your wealth. They miss what they were siphoning off of you. They miss your energy. They miss your sweetness. They miss you turning the other cheek. And they miss you handing over everything, just giving it to them. You didn't even try to fight it. You just let them take it. You're the love child. They're the fraud. So they're in a 5 of Pentacles here. Because you are in your divine kingdom spouse union. Romance. Okay, so they're in a 5 of Pentacles here. Defeat. Because they were having romance with an uninvited guest. With an invasive species that came here and decided to interbreed and traffic humanity and genetically experiment on them, and then, you know, try to alter God's divine chosen ones and their genetics so that they could eliminate God's family. So this person, or whoever this is, they're in a 5 of Pentacles because they are in a romance with this uninvited guest. They're in a 10 of Wands burden, or maybe this is the completion of you carrying the burden of these psychos that refuse to let go. They won't let go. It's a freaking psycho, man. And they're out there trying to present themselves as this and that. This is a psycho, crazy, obsessed, won't let go, third party enemy, wanting to have sex with every single body in the planet and claim the energy. This is an uninvited guest that feels, this curator feels that he owns life. You've got a 10 of Pentacles here. Somebody says, I love you. There is somebody on one knee proposing with a wedding ring. Taking a risk. Taking a leap of faith. Letting go. You're letting go. Giving up. They're being released. Somebody's being released due to a hidden truth. The tip of the iceberg you have shown. You've solved the puzzle. You've got the cold word. And there is a breakup, a separation, and an end between these uninvited invasive species and humanity. Your song, your singing to God, your love of the Most High God, regardless of what these jealous religious people say, you know, cursing you on your social media or your channel or whatever, you know, they come forward. They love to create war because everybody who is religious wants to fight with everybody else over their religion. It's a sick mental illness when it comes to life and being an abundant contributor to life. So you're singing your song, your soul song has what? Solved the mystery, this illusion of you being single. People wanted your finances. They saw you as an animal and they used you as some form of an exhibit. Lifetime story of the Earth Woman. And now you're getting a new beginning. There's a forgotten person of the past who wants revenge on you. This clown. But you are clean and firm. You're very decisive. You're wide awake. You know exactly what's going on here, and you are calm. They can't rile you. They can't disturb you. So you're getting your dreams come true, a miracle, a beautiful, devoted union. What you've always hoped for, your dream. Your dream. You're ascending your crown. You're an ascendant, and you're getting your crown, your royalty. You are a loved child of the Heavenly Father, and you are victorious here. You have brought change to the snake and their opportunity to copycat people and replace them in these upper dimensional spaces and places. You've discovered about the medicine. You've discovered about them using it as a bridge and a connector to other timelines that people have been elevated to. These low vibrational frauds and tricksters have been using this medicine, this heavy metal or nanobots, I'm thinking, to get into the mental body, to control that body, to control the frequency of the waters in that body, and the mind, the programming of the mind, the soap operas, the Wi-Fi freaking stream of information that they try to pump into the mind to make it appear as though somebody is unstable, or to try to drive them into some stupid relationship that is not real. There's communication records. There's some kind of record, some kind of messaging. You're doing investigation. There's been an investigation, and there is an understanding of what has been happening here. There is a reconciliation. You are independent, and you're coming together with your person. This person that the shadow feels is taboo. They've been sacrificing the rose for a long time because they didn't want you to come together with your person. They considered it a crime. They wanted to unalive you before it even happened because they could not allow it. You're just too potent together. And that's why the shadow feels that it's forbidden, because they cannot win against you when you're in union. The rose, the sacrificed, powerful, Christed beings, the children of God. You're going home. You're going home. The sun is setting on these memories. You are getting away. You are being released, and it could be that these ones are trying to run away from the law, balancing the scales. They're trying to run. So you're victorious. There's public recognition. You are a loved child, divine. The Heavenly Father loves you. You have brought a change here. You're victorious. Your transformation has brought about change on this mirror of these karmics, snakes. The actors, actresses, mimickers, and mimes. Gold digger. So you're bringing about change and transformation to those copycats, those snakes who are lying and committing fraud and tricking people, trying to get money. It's a gold digger. They've been misusing clairs and nanotechnology within the medicines that people take in order to trap them and siphon out their spiritual inheritance by sacrificing them in the dream state while they're sleeping, trying to go to work the next day to support their lifestyle, to actually go to work and earn what these ones are trying to steal from them. So the lovers are here. The strength of two together. Your values are in alignment. It's a deep love. You're looking at this thug and the photographs, the memories of this worthless rat. This trash. The trash photographs of this thug. Evidence of what they've done to pets. And these uninvited guests see humanity as an animal. So this thug has photographs in a bedroom of waste, and it's just worthless trash. You're looking at the photographs of this thug regarding pets. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. So the Two of Wands, there's a leaving home. There is a detachment. We've got ghosted. Somebody's being ghosted because of divine intervention. It's obvious who you are. They cannot mirror you or get away with it. There's a detachment here. We got divine intervention and communicate. You could be in communication with the divine, or maybe this divine intervention, this serendipity, this catalyst, this unexpected good fortune, or something. So there's communicating, divine intervention. You were able to communicate with Heavenly Father and then blow the lid on this mirroring and identity theft of the snake regarding the temperance angels. So they're in a temperance reversed. They're not able to sacrifice this temperance angel. They're overindulging. They may be drinking. They may be going to extremes. They have been extreme in this sacrificing, flipping into South Node and sacrificing and copycatting the earth angels with their mirrors, their snake mirrors. So there's an empty room here. This is the end of that. There's no more people for them to unalive. No more people for them to sacrifice. No more people for them to gain a reward by stealing a soul. You are protected. You're protected. Empty room. You may have an empty room. They're no longer able to visit you, astral project to your bedroom while you're sleeping and have a freaking gang freaking party there. All these men discussing your sensitivities, touching you, poking you, prodding you, harvesting off of you. There's a punishment here. The punishment is, and the divine asked me, well, what would you do for a punishment? Because I was mad. I was like, you're going to get what you deserve here. And Spirit Divine, the mother in one of her aspects, asked me, well, what would you do for punishment? And I said, well, I would just remove myself from their presence. I would stop playing their game. And so now we get goodbye. That's the punishment. They can no longer tap into your energy. They can no longer sacrifice you for gain. They can no longer have sex with you to drain you of your intimate energy. They're in eternal regret and unspoken apology. Narcissist. An unspoken apology. They're sorry, but they won't ever tell you. Seven of Swords, trickery, living life high on the hog. Oh, they miss you. They miss you. You will be traveling soon. In the reverse, it says miss you. They're waiting. They won't be coming back. They won't be coming back, and you won't be going there. They're in a 5 of Pentacles. They've losing everything. They were in a romance with one of these uninvited guests. These invasive psycho species trying to manage humanity. You got a psychotic, freaking mad scientist, genetically modified, what they feel is a superior being. These narcissists, gold diggers, trying to rob every earth angelic of their earth angel merchandise, that which the Most High God has given us to be here in order to generate the temperance angel and all of the goodness that comes with that balance and harmony in a community. And these uninvited guests came in and just decided, oh no, we don't want balance. We want chaos, and we want everybody having sex with everybody. So there's a big, big change here. There's a big change. Luck is on your side. They have to move on. You're unavailable. And they got to keep their distance from you. Move on. Keep your distance. Yes, move on. Uninvited guest. Keep your distance. They are in a 10 of Wands burden. Or this is the completion of you carrying 10 Wands for this psycho, crazy, obsessed person who won't let go. This is a third-party enemy. They're all about affairs, infidelity, broken hearts, destabilization of the foundation for children. It's all about sex. Everything is hypersexualized for this gold digger. They don't want anybody in their heart chakra. They want everybody in their root chakra in fight and flight scenario. Survival. We've got confession in the reverse. They're not telling you. You've got somebody, some psycho here is in a heavy burden. They won't let go. There's a mistress or some sort of a third party, some kind of affairs. They're not confessing. They won't tell you. We've got 10 of Pentacles. I love you, and roll the dice. Somebody's taking a chance. What's going on with this person here? Yeah, they're not telling you that they're a third party enemy. They're this. And they're psycho. And they're psycho. They're not confessing that this is a third party enemy. They see your 10 of Pentacles here, and they want to tap into that. So they're going to come in, smile in your face, and say they love you. And they're going to be like, ew, I'm not a third party enemy, but they are, and they're not telling you. And they're psycho on top of it. Freaking psycho. Air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They want to impregnate a fire sign on date night. Why? Because they've been divorced out of your energy, and they want to reconnect with a sexual encounter. Relationship is their favorite weapon of war. They're trying to manifest you into their life, and they're getting a no. No, freaking no, freaking no. This could be a water sign involved in this, having challenges, gaining a commitment with a love spell. Because you're using your intuition and you are giving it time before you go swinging anybody. You're like, all these shrinksters are out here trying to freaking get with somebody. So you're using patience, because these third-party enemies, they got to go back, or every bad magical spell or every love spell or every nasty thing that they've done in the world is going back to them. So you got to be patient when it comes to having a new beginning here. A new beginning. Because these ones are falling away this winter, over the next few months. You're doing your research here, perhaps, on an earth sign. Or maybe there's an earth sign doing research, because we have a liar trying to move in. And they've got health issues. And they want you to open your heart so that they can get on your destined path and take part in your new chapter. They're taking a gamble, trying to get back because they've been let go. So you've got somebody coming up wanting to offer you a marriage. They're lying. This is a third-party enemy, a narcissist in eternal regret. They gotta tap back into this divine feminine energy. They don't have anything without divine feminine. But this is a gold-digging thug who's got photographs of a trashy bedroom. They're a rat bastard is what they are, an alcoholic. And there could have been, looks, it's a thug. So you're here dealing with thugs and these photographs, this trash. They consider them pets. Cornholio, Holio, whatever, man. They don't care as long as it involves a hole. There's a hole, black hole. Give them a black hole. Give them a big black hole. Let it suck them right in. They got black energy. Black energy should go into a black hole, rather than feeding on the light of a temperance angel. Go back into your black hole, black energy, narcissist, psycho who won't let go. Go. They're in a heavy burden. They've lost everything. When they lost you, they lost everything. You were the chosen one that was feeding them everything that they ever needed. In the spiritual realm, these people were tapped into your spiritual inheritance that God gave you, and they were down here pretending to be presidents, freaking queens. And all they were was a mirror, a snake, taking over the position in the 3D realm of a sacrificed earth angel. None of these, none of them. And they're concerned about diplomacy. These human traffickers, these SEX traffickers of humanity, these who eat the flesh of the apples of God's family. Look, dance. Look, dance. There's a woman there with a rope around her neck. These people are psychotic. Dance. Yeah, broken minds. Bad luck isn't brought by broken mirrors, but by broken minds. They genetically altered themselves. They've been running around fighting and trying to hurt people with their magic, demanding, insisting that the reward that belongs with this temperance angel belongs to them. And they do it through sacrifice. And then copycat and replace with this stupid little... So they got broken minds, and they've been unaliving temperance angels and then pretending to be them. And the sad thing about it is that these are men in competition with women. They think they're prettier. You know, they've been wearing sacrificed earth angelic energy for so long that they really believe they're so freaking pretty. They're the empress. They believe it. But it's just a gold-digging snake, narcissistic, hoe bag, psycho. Freaking psycho. They got broken minds. They genetically modified themselves and they altered themselves. They're an intelligent animal, but they have no empathy. They have no ability to feel anything except when they're hurting somebody. Then they get extreme joy out of that because it's a low vibrational energy that they love to eat. You're leaving behind these memories of bondage and torment. Harvest. They've been feeding on you for a long time and you're leaving them behind. Those who have been tormenting you, binding you, feeding on you, you're leaving them behind. You're here in an actual divine love union, but you got this thug with photographs that are trash. They may have photos of you on the black market from a previous life or whatever, man. They've been doing this lifetime story of the earth woman for a long time. Her sacrifices, her tortured existence. They wanted the Most High God to see them as worthless and vile. Boogeyman. So we got a boogeyman here. A boogeyman going after women, treating them like animals. They got photographs of lots of filthy alcohol and drugs and a bedroom there. This devil. So there's reconciliation, travel plans for these ghosted, karmic, broken-minded people. There's divine intervention here. They want to compromise, forgive, work it out. Communication with the devil. They're unsuccessfully. They tried to sacrifice an earth angelic, and they are in this temperance reversed energy because they were not able to successfully sacrifice a temperance angel, an earth angel, a beloved child of the Most High God. There's an empty room here. There's no people. The end of opportunity for them to sacrifice earth angels. You are protected. You have a guardian angel watching over you. They're obsessed, man. They're obsessed. They're cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. I bid him high, showed him what I got. Yeah, somebody who is snacking on the little children is getting snacked on right now. They're the new fodder. They're going to get to know exactly what it is they've been doing to others. They'll get a different perspective about their existence. Obsession. 5 cellars underground. These people have been dragging you underground, harvesting you, eating you because I love you. But they're obsessed with you. They want to eat you. They need your energy. They don't want to let you go. They're really upset because judgment is here in the rivers. There's punishment. The punishment is you're leaving. You're just leaving. And now they're in eternal regret. This is a narcissist. They were too full of themselves and you're saying goodbye. Uninvited guests. Look, because we've got love. They're in eternal, this narcissist is in eternal regret. It could be what they've done to love. You're together here with your person. And, you know, these ones, they were talking about giving you a twist. Trickery and fraud. They did not want you to be seen as an earth angel. They wanted to flip you into South Node and copycat you. They gave you a twist. They did not want you to be recognized by the Heavenly Father. And you've got all these men out there who are so extremely upset that you're not following after them, doing exactly what they say. When it comes to your union and your prayers to the Most High God, Mother, Father. So they got trickery and fraud. They were living in the moment, and now they miss you. They're not traveling with you. They can't come to you. They're not able to leave. These are intelligent animals of the pet cemetery. These are reanimated dead people given an animated corpse that they live in, and they have to go around and harvest sexual energy off of people or sacrifice actual earth angels and draw off of their soul in order to gain a decent life. And now they're missing you. They can't go where you're going. They're not going where you're going. They're in grief. They can't go where you're going. They're in a 5 of Pentacles and they're defeated. They could be defeated by your romance, or they could just be losing everything because they are in a romance with this uninvited guest. It could be that they let these people in to do this kind of nastiness to humanity. So we've got, yes, move on. You're not available anymore. And they need to keep their distance. They need to keep their distance from you. We've got flight. It could be that they're being removed from the planet. 10 of Wands, burden. Psycho, crazy, obsessed, won't let go, affairs, mistress, third party. We've got confession in the reverse and earth. They don't want to confess. These third parties are trying to hide. They're trying to hide. They're trying to get marriage contracts with people who are coming into a 10 of Pentacles life. So somebody's taking a risk. They're saying they love you. We've got sexuality in the reverse. They're hiding it. They're not telling you that this is what they are. They have a mistress. You are a mistress. They want you as a third party. This is a crazy psycho ex or somebody who's obsessed with you, refusing to let go of your energy. Wonder world or wonder in the world. This is an intelligent animal. They go around destroying everything, and in their hand they've got divine feminine. They insist that they own her, that she is their little personal collector's item, and she goes wherever they go and nobody can say anything about it. This is a freaking beast. And they're filming the lifetime story of Earth Woman. And this beast has got her right in his hand, right where they want him. And there's nothing anybody's going to do about it. They're just sitting there filming their little camera. Ooh, what's going to happen? Look at King Kong has the Earth Woman. What's going to happen? Escape. You've escaped. You have escaped the intelligent beast. And it could be that this here is a masculine. There's a masculine on the card. Take it as it resonates. They want to escape this beast. They want to get on your path, but they're psycho. They're very much loyal to this thing. They have to be. They like sold souls. They're the devil. The freaking devil. Somebody's really pissed off because you're cold as ice. You are not taking the call. You turned your ringer off because you know these people are sick and they want to consume you. They want to eat you. They want to gobble up your energy and become just like you. You could be having dreams of the other side. We've got these animals in the woods. There could be some animals in the woods. There could be a cat here. I heard somebody talking about jaguar the other day, dealing with these tricksters who did the forbidden, heinous crime of consuming the earth angelic, gobbling up their life force, their identity, and then pretending to be them while being a whore, while being a thief, while being a reckless devil. You're seen. The Most High God sees you. You're victorious over this. You've shined a light on the mirror of this snake. There's a change here for this gold digger. Of course, we got folks out here who want to spy. They enjoy that. love. Love. Love, love, love. Those who had their love puppeted, manipulated, kept from them, destroyed, they get to go home. They get to go home. Their home is privileged. They're going to go home and they're going to get their status of privilege for remaining stable, reliable, calm. You can see both sides of the story. You've brought home information that's going to bring a change to this snake and their ability to enter upper dimensional timelines and spaces and places through the avenues that they choose, like medicine. Heavy metals within the medicine could potentially be nanobots, controlling the mental body and the energy of people. These ones have been using these medicines as connectors and bridges to the minds, to the energy, and to the timelines of humanity who have been resurrected and led back into an ascension, gifted property, money, and status. You have brought attention to those who have been pretending to be you. You're a wholesome individual. You did not cut any corners. You felt the pain through and through, and you stabilized in that. You may be receiving a visitation from a light source, a giant, a titan. Oh. And they may want to know how you maintained your peace when these spirits from the other side were sent to haunt you in the history. How did you hold yourself together? This actor is chicken. They're afraid. Oh, they're afraid because the Creator is going to take them out for being a fraud and for being a vain drama. Hey boy, you want to go slap that mama? Hey boy, you want to go rape that mama? Hey boy, you want to go bind and torment and harvest divine feminine? Oh, you want to do that? Oh, you really? Yeah. Oh, you want to drive the mind of beautiful people for things. The wise guy has expectations of the labor of this work, this academic work. What? We've got remembering addictions. Bringing addictions to the children who are now remembered, which has caused a lot of hardship. We've got congratulations here because it's time for this snake to receive a message. You have self-preserved and you are in your purpose of leadership. They had a very narrow perception of your reality of service. This witch is here and now looking at this spiritual throne of this sovereign, divine, feminine. They've been forgiven because these ancestors were horse playing around with the bodies, the waters of the body, the emotional body, the mental body, the waters of the body, the health of the body. They've been poisoning everybody, forcing them to get on this medicine to manage the symptoms of being poisoned. And in this medicine is heavy metal, which could potentially be these nanobots delivering soap opera verbal streams that are invasive and intrusive. They're not actually divine. And also driving people to do things that they wouldn't normally do. Horse playing around with the arcana. and their position. This player was trying to make it appear as though the Arcana was a terrorist, a warmonger, while they were absent. Absent fathers running around pretending that they're important, they're going to get disconnected because you did not do anything. You were innocent. Now you're receiving a promise because you accepted things as they are. You are who you say you are. You are shining brightly, and you're coming into your evermore, your kingdom union, your forever, because you survived. You're still shining here. You survived that conflict and you remained optimistic that justice will be served. Now it could be that you are on a pathway as a justice because you kept your mind clear. You're not full of malice. You don't want to seek vengeance. You're simply a sensitive instrument of the divine, an organic divine temperance angel, transmitter, receiver. You're receiving messaging from the divine, from Mother, Father, and you're delivering it into the world. And these people, these men, these religious men who've been competing with you, they don't think that you should be able to be a prophet or a prophetess. They don't think that you, as a temperance earth angel, deserve that connection. But here you are, a loved child of the divine. Yeah. So we've got Bohemian entertainment. They were not willing to settle down or be responsible. They just wanted to flash and clash. And there's a change in the teacher, to the teacher, who, this explorer, this uninvited guest who was martyring women mostly who care for themselves, trapping them and then forcing them to care for them. This tribe, these kin are invisible. You don't know who they are, but they certainly know who you are. And you're innocent. So now you have a defense. You have a defense. Somebody may appear in your location. Somebody may be spying on your location, wanting to make an appearance. You've got somebody up here wanting to deliver a proposal. They're taking a risk. This is a bisexual or just a crazy psycho that's obsessed with sex harvesting others, trying to propose to you so that they can get legal access to your Ten of Pentacles and offload onto you this Ten of Wands. Love is leaving this narcissist. All of these narcissists, love is leaving. You're leaving. You're leaving behind the baggage of bondage. You are emancipated and free. These people are pissed. They want to do a 3D unaliving. It's so insane. You are a beloved child of the God, and you are victorious. There's public recognition here. They're bringing a change to the snake and their lies, mirroring actual earth angels, gold digging with their broken mind. They made mistakes. They wish they could fix it, but it can't. You're leaving behind this baggage, these memories of bondage, this torment, being harvested, being fed upon, being treated like a cow, like nothing more than food, being brutalized and slaughtered by this uninvited guest, this psycho who is not human, who feels that they are superior to humans. No more feeding. God said no. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. They will not be obtaining you. Everybody's talking. You're leaving this behind. You are reunited with your love. You with your love. The lovers are here. The strength of two together. Now you've got somebody here, some freaking whack job wanting to come in and play as though they are your spiritual counterpart. They want to show up in the 3D, the psycho, and they want to pretend that they are your person. Now they won't ever, I don't think, make it into your energetic field in the 3D before your family unseen takes them out. They're stupid. They're crazy, obsessed, psycho. They can't let it go. They're mentally broken. They're mentally freaking broken. They genetically modified themselves into being a boogeyman. They're nothing more than a boogeyman devil. That's all they are, man. They did some weird stuff to themselves by having relationship and union with these vampiric shadow demons. There's photographs, trashy freaking photographs of what they've done to women who they view as pets. They still could not separate you, and perhaps they're not able to separate themselves. They could not separate you. Our love is always there despite the distance. There may be photographs of what they've done to you in the past, but you are reunited and you're leaving behind the bondage and the torment and the torture, the feeding that they've done to you. They could not strip love out of you. So there is a leaving home and a detachment. Somebody's getting ghosted. There's divine intervention here. There's divine intervention here. Serendipity, catalyst, karma. There's a communicate with the devil, the truth. The truth is here. So the truth is here. The devil has to tell the truth, but it also came out like it might be trying to come out reversed. So there's some lies. You got people lying. Any snake, devil, whatever, they're going to be lying. Lying. So they're in a temperance reversed energy because they were not able to sacrifice you. No people, the end of their opportunity to harvest the soul of God's family. You are protected from these obsessed, psychotic people, these devils, these religious devils. You are reunited. The Most High God is here. You're a beloved son or daughter. Somebody's daydreaming about being with you. They're obsessed with you and they're in disagreement. They think you should understand how they feel. You may not even know who these people are. They're psycho, freaking whack jobs who have sacrificed you centuries ago, and they've been sacrificing, like, just in this lifetime. I've taken so many knives to the chest, have had so many cuts to the throat. In my dreams, over and freaking over, these whack jobs kept sticking me with freaking knives. Like all of you who aren't in on this. So now there's punishment. The punishment is you're saying goodbye. That's it. They cannot access you any longer. They're going to be an eternal regret. This narcissist is an eternal regret over messing with love, over Frankensteining love, over making it into a beast, over doing genetic experiments, over really effing over God's family, trying to turn themselves into an army that could defeat God. That's what this curator was doing. Pet Cemetery, they were raising the dead with this necromancy crap. And I know that these cards are considered necromancy, but I don't see them as that. I don't use it as witchcraft. I don't commune with demons or devils. I let my guardian angel, the Most High God, family unseen, who is of love, share with me a story, and then I share it with you. So these ones neglected love. They did genetic experiments on love. They neglected love. It could be that they genetically modified love right out of themselves because they saw it as a weakness. And now we've got, ain't it shocking what love can do? Because they never thought that a single woman separated from her person, her twin flame, tormented, genetically modified, twisted, flipped, neglected. They never ever thought that you would actually be anything. Your love, they thought that love was stupid, silly, wishy-washy, weak. But both of you never gave up on love, even though you were in bondage and being tormented by these ones. Harvested off of, fed on by these uninvited, intelligent animals from the pet cemetery. They're in grief. They're not traveling anywhere with you. They're frauds. They were living high on the hog, and now they miss you. They're not going anywhere. They're in grief, and it's too late for them to take any action. It's too late. I heard the other day that they were going to be recycled. They're genetic experiments. They tried to twist you, but God said, hey, you know what? He loves you. You're a beloved child of God. And regardless of the torment, the torture, and the bondage, you're going to be, this is divine intervention. God said he said, I told you not to touch my chosen ones. They were pulling off of this person, and in the end, they sacrificed this person to the underworld, and the underworld said, oh, thank you. And the bridge was mended, and the upper and the under came together, and they are now eliminating the copycats. You know, you got these middle ground bullies here in the middle ground. They severed the crown. They wanted to be the devil. They wanted to be God. And they cut everything off and tried to dominate this space. Didn't work out. Five of Pentacles for a romance with an uninvited guest. They've been working with these explorers, these uninvited guests, this species that is not human, that was doing genetic modifications and scientific experiments on life, on God's chosen family, to try to replace them with an army that God could not beat. And they thought their illusions, their mirrors, the mirrors of this snake, they really thought that they were going to get this army into God's kingdom and tear it apart. So they're in a Five of Pentacles for having a relationship with this uninvited guest that was trying to exterminate God's family. Yes, luck is on your side. These ones have to move on. You are unavailable. They have to keep their distance. And we've got flight. Leaving the planet. They sabotage themselves. They have to leave the planet. Ten of Wands. Burden for this psycho who's having affairs. This obsessed, crazy person who refuses to let go of your energy, of your consciousness, of your mind. They have no confessions over vampiring the woman of Earth. It's exactly what they've been doing. They're not confessing. They sabotage themselves. This psycho, crazy, obsessed, won't let go, little whack job is coming. And look, what they're not confessing, the vampiring of the women that they have had a soul tie to on this earth. This is the end of their soul ties with anybody on earth. These uninvited guests, this invasive species, they will not have any more soul contracts with humanity, with God's kids, with children. None of us. Nope, absolutely not. But you're getting a Ten of Pentacles inheritance here. You've got this nasty Jack coming in. I love you. He's rolling the dice, taking a chance, a leap of faith. They're lying about their bisexuality. This is a hoe bag, a psycho hoe bag who has lots and lots of affairs. They want to dump their Ten of Wands burden on you. They want to get a soul tie. They want to dump their Ten of Wands burden on you, and they want to extract out your Ten of Pentacles. This is somebody who is filming a story. So a lifetime story of the feminine. This is your last lifetime story, divine feminine. This is the last lifetime story where you are squeezed in the hand of that beast while they just run around filming it and then blasting it all over the galaxy. Your suffering, your entrapment, your inability to overcome this stupid army that they've genetically modified. They're getting recycled. They're going away. And it may be that they're already gone. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Ego, you have escaped these prideful people. But we do have this fella here wanting to come in and say, love bomb and gaslight you and offer you marriage. They're a liar. This is a third-party hoe bag. They're not telling the truth about this. They don't know what to do here. This is an egomaniac. You've escaped their wonderland. You've escaped their freaking animal kingdom. These are intelligent animals of the city, manipulating the human feminine. There's unfinished business here. You have hope for a detachment from these people. And these people that were reminiscing about how fun it was to hurt you, they want to talk to you now. This shadow side, whose values are all about money. You're already in union with somebody who you are in alignment with. There's no reason for these people. They were unsatisfied with marriage. They were unsatisfied with being committed. They are guilty and in regret of being a reflection, a mirror, of messing with people's identities. Identity theft in the universal grandest way, man. They were, because they were pretending to be others in order to steal the destiny of them. And they are unworthy of experiencing a new chapter where people's hearts have mended and they are getting a relationship, a marriage of equal give and take. These ones are going to suffer the absence of these people who actually love themselves into hell. They're being held back and they miss their opportunity. They have no roots and no flowers. They cannot grow a family tree that is strong and sturdy and can stand the freaking forces of the winds and all other things for generations to come. But you went deep, 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 planted those freaking roots, let off your golden royal light, and then God led you back and resurrected you, took all that information that they needed to prove these ones necessary. Ejection, because they're a societal threat. So there's an understanding of your side of the story. They left you alone. They abandoned you. You had to rise up out of this mess by yourself. Shine brightly. Be loud. Make a lot of noise. Let God hear you. You had to come up out of this and you had to roar like a freaking lion. Because you had everybody trying to bind you, torment you, torture you. They wanted you like that. This is an unexpected outcome. Things did not go the way they planned. They're feeling broken and shattered by this and confused. They lied about their soul contract with you. They ran away from you. They were feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, and so they decided to go be an F-boy and an F-girl, and now they're feeling the damage, the pain from the damage they have caused. These stupid habitual patterns. They didn't appreciate the beauty of you, the beauty of responsible family and relationship. They liked the chase. Now they want to escape. You have escaped. These ones were not telling the truth. They're third-party hoe bags, and they want your forgiveness because you are seen. The way you love can never be matched, regardless of how many horrors and how many freaking narcissists, how many trickster devils, how many shadow demons. wild victory. You're bringing change to the mirror of this snake, this gold-digging snake. You have brought attention to their lies, to their broken minds, and to them breaking the minds of others. They have been offloading their mental madness into the collective for a long time, and then they've been medicating the collective for their insanity. It's not even their mental crap. It's a karmic transference of mental insanity. These people are psycho. They have done genetic experiments on themselves. They're animal-like. The only way that they can appear as though they're not an animal, a devil, a psycho, is to sacrifice a earth angel, a Christed being, and then dress up in that energy and become just like you. They were not able to do so this time. And you are a beloved child of God. These people are being warned. They're psycho freaking snakes, and they're being warned. Their minds are broken. They made mistakes. You are reunited, and you're leaving them behind. You're leaving behind the memories of bondage, of torment, of being fed upon. And people are talking about your reunion. They're not allowed in your sacred space anymore. They got to get out of your sacred space. Those who are feeding on you, those who are trying to keep you apart, they are being evicted out of your sacred space. The lovers, the strength of two, are here together. We've got a thug with photographs, trashy photographs regarding pets and whatever a boogeyman did. I don't know what kind of low life shit these low life demons did to you in a past life, but some of the stories that I've heard of the tortures that they have done are not good, and I'm certain that many of you have experienced those. We've got distance again. Distance. They have to keep their distance. This is a boogeyman. They saw you as a pet. They are a pet. Photographs, memories, trash, alcohol, beds, sex, pets, kittens, boogeymen, sacrificing the women in the house as though they were nothing more than a pet. And yet still they could not separate you from love. You are a divine one of God. They have to keep their distance from you. They got to keep their freaking distance from you. They cannot separate you. There's reconciliation here. These people got to leave you alone. They're getting detached. There's this divine intervention, serendipity. You are a catalyst. There is communication with this devil regarding the truth, regarding heart bond. You are in a true heart bond. They were not able to sacrifice you. They're in a temperance angel reverse, temperance energy reverse, because they were not able to sacrifice you. Funeral in the reverse. The room is empty. There's no people. This is the end of their opportunity. You are protected by a guardian angel. These people are obsessed. They're whacked in the head. They're thinking you need to understand how they feel. They're longing for you. They're daydreaming for you. These are they're resisting. They don't want to let go. They're nothing without you. Without you, they are in 100% psycho freaking babble. Without you and your temperance energy and your angelic gifts, they are nothing more than a hoe banging psycho. They're out there having sex with whoever, whatever, human, animal, doesn't matter, because they're not human. They're another species that is a genetically altered, intelligent animal, and they've been feeding on humanity. The animal has been feeding on the intelligent family of God, and they've been trying desperately to swap identities with them by downloading Microsoft Wi-Fi soap operas through the mind. What's that say? Routine in the reverse. Okay, so we've got judgment in the reverse. There's punishment. The punishment is you're saying goodbye. They want to say sorry. It's an unspoken apology, eternal regret of this narcissist for doing scientific experiments on love and those who do love and then neglecting them. This routine is being stopped. They are fraudsters, tricksters, living your life, missing you now because they can't go where you're going. These are pet cemetery, crazy freaking psychos. Look at that child. They've got a knife in their hand, and look at that. They just want to. Did you watch Pet Cemetery when it came out? Freaking psycho, man. You pull up these dead entities and give them a body and then animate it with some kind of electricity like this. They were Frankensteining everybody. They were Frankensteining everybody with their scientific experiments, and this is ending now. You are balanced. It's time for balance. It's time for these freaking psychos to let go of your energy. They did not do the work to heal, to be love. They did scientific experiments on love. Five of Pentacles, lack. They're losing everything for their beautiful little romance with this uninvited guest, this explorer, this devil, this psycho, freaking boogeyman. Got trashy photographs of what they've done to you. In the bedroom. With a boogeyman and a knife. Yeah, they're being prepared for fodder. They have fed on you for a long time. They're losing everything, including their existence. They're going to be removed from the planet. They're going to be recycled. This is a completion of you carrying 10 wands for this psycho, these psycho freaking third-party enemies out there having sex with whoever, whatever. There's no confession of vampires on Earth. They don't want to confess. Somebody doesn't want to confess vampiring the woman on Earth through soul ties. They could be lying. They don't want to confess. This is a completion of your burden. They're crazy, obsessed. They don't want to confess. They won't let go. They're freaking crazy. They're a third-party hoe, and they won't let go of you. They don't have a soul tie with you. God canceled all of that. They don't have a right to you. They're saying that because you're using their medicine, that they do have a right to you. Their medicine is only necessary because they poisoned everybody and they did black magic on organ failure, like the thyroid and other things, high blood pressure, weight gain, all this stuff, right? Release. All right. They don't want to release you. They don't want to release you. You got a psycho babbling freaking whack job coming up here trying to propose marriage to you. They're hiding the fact they're a third party, whatever. And we've got direction. They're not going to be able to go in a new direction. They're not coming. They don't want you going a new direction. You have escaped. Look, they're at risk. They're at risk. They don't want you going in a new direction. They are at risk. You have escaped the wonderland of the world where they've been filming the lifetime story of Earth Woman. You've got a prideful, egotistical person here who doesn't know what to do. They're at risk. They can't go where you're going. Mischief. They were using their gifts to cause mischief in the world and in the lives of others by spying in the homes of the community. They were astral projecting and unseen going in and spying on people, mimicking people, tampering with their lives, playing with their lives, giving them a cause to survive. You did survive the memory of what they've done to you, the torment, the bondage, this disgusting trash photography that this boogeyman did to you with their knife in the bedroom. You've gained your freedom here, and you're getting your abundance because you've brought insights of the nature of what these people have been doing in the territory. You were able to bring forward the truth, and now they're being displaced. They're being kicked out for being a distractant, for distracting the anomalies. For getting into your mind space, figuring out that you're going to meet your person soon, and then coming in like this jackass right here, rolling the dice, trying to attach themselves to your 10 of Pentacles. They're being watched. You are protected from those self-interested people who who have been dominating life and feeding on it with trickery. They've been feeding on the light and the life of these temperance angels and using that energy to bind them, to curse them. These ghosts are in upheaval. They caused a lot of upheaval by pulling up all of your seeds, everything that you were here to do. They decided that they would just make sure never ever happened. Now they're anticipating an empty crowd. They did a bunch of mirror magic. Nobody wants to listen to them. Perhaps they're anticipating an illusion, bouncing back, wrath and battle, upside down perspective. There's wrath for these people fighting against God's children. They're being evicted out of the sacred space because they were only here to feed on your abundance, and they were committed to an empty nest, and it has been exposed. They were feeding on the children. They were making sure that any child they had would be eaten, and then they would replace it with one of these low vibrational, born in a bag of still waters, these things that aren't born of a womb. These night beings who go in and pretend that they have grown while keeping the one who actually has in isolation. They're no longer able to curse you. All of their communication is falling right off of you. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to deal with it. It's done. You are leaving behind these scavengers, and they're afraid because they were working as a team to negatively influence the children of the world, to destroy God's family. And now it's personal. God is going to destroy them and give them exactly what they want. And one of the divine feminines stated, you have no idea what they're going to do to your adversary. And I don't, but I heard. I bit him hard, showed him what I got. And I know they're the new fodder. They're being prepared as fodder right now. They're being eaten, probably alive, like they have done to so many of the children that some of us had to listen to 24/7, cry out in this terror, this torment, this bondage, while we ourselves experienced it. I imagine the Most High God is pretty fed up with all these freaking yo-yos out there using their religion and their faith to make war with God's children, with the people of the planet. And I suppose, since these uninvited guests have swarmed everything, that's the way it is. They're all here, uninvited guests, all working for dominance, and they're saying, screw the humans. Humans are nothing. And they broadcast it out. Now these humans are telling them to get the F off the planet. Get off the planet. This is not your Eden. This is not your sandbox. Daydream. It was all an illusion. They're being warned. You are a loving divine child of the Most High God. He loves you and you are victorious here. 6 of Wands. You're making a change for the snake who's been mirroring earth angels. You are reunited here. There is a schedule. There's a plan for this reunion. You're in that six of Swords boat, and these memories, you're leaving these memories of torment and bondage behind. These people harvesting you. There's a lot of gossip going on. They're getting kicked out of the sacred space. They can no longer be here because they're broken in the mental body. They're broken. They can't be around people who love themselves. They just can't do it because we don't want to be like them. And they're, unfortunately, I think the majority of people here are them. So it's been quite a challenge for the alchemists to transmute all of this nastiness. It's terrible. Libation. Libation, distance. They cannot separate you from love. They got to stay at a distance. This religious person, boogeyman. They got photographs, trashy freaking photographs of alcohol and sex in this bedroom. They look at you as a pet. This is a boogeyman with a knife. They go into that trashy bedroom and they do things there to the woman. And they see her as nothing more than a freaking animal. And then they do horrible, horrible things. And they take pictures of it. This trash that invaded the freaking planet. This freaking genetic experiment. So there's leaving home, making travel plans, detached. These ones are getting detached. They are ghosted. They're ghosted. They're ghosts to you, gone, right out of the energy. There's somebody, divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, there's communication, compromise, forgive, work it out. The devil is here and you are telling the truth about heart bonds. You are here in a heart bond. The truth is revealed. You love. This devil wants to communicate and God says, hey, divine intervention, this is my child, devil, that you tried to rob. This is my child that you robbed of their heart bond. This devil robbed you of your heart bond, of your kingdom union. They tried so desperately to steal it from you. This is the truth. But it's time for you to be reunited. You're getting it anyway. You're getting it anyway. You may have supposed to been coming into this many times. These guys said they laughed and joked and just stuck it to me how our light has been fueling this stupid scenario for centuries. They laughed. They thought it was hilarious. They take you in this stupid trashy bedroom, get you drunk, put you on drugs, and do atrocious freaking things to you as though you're nothing more than an animal needing sacrificed. They probably wear masks because the boogeyman has a mask. So we got temperance in the reverse. They're going to extremes and they're not able to sacrifice you. This is an empty room. No people. The end of their opportunity. You've got a guardian angel and probably a whole freaking bunch of them. These people are obsessed. They're sick in their head. They wish you understood how I feel. They're daydreaming about you. They're offering resistance. But you're not dealing with no third-party, hope bag, enemy, uninvited guest, invasive species, bullshit artist. No thanks. No freaking thanks. Judgment is here. Punishment is here. Punishment is that you're saying goodbye. They're sorry. This narcissist is sorry. They're too full of themselves. They're in eternal regret, and this is an unspoken apology. They will never say they're sorry. They neglected you and love. They've been doing scientific experiments on those people who love. They've been doing genetic modifications, and that routine is coming to an end. The routine going back and forth, to the dark, to the light, to the dark, to the light, that's ending. God is cutting these people off. They're going to be at a distance because they can't separate you from love, no matter what kind of torture they do to you, and no matter what kind of illusions they cast. They're so freaking bad. You're a high value person. This routine is ending. You're high value. The routine of them neglecting and experimenting on peaceful, loving people, it's over. It's over. These prideful people are hesitating. They don't know what to do now, because you lived and learned and you reached your goal despite what they did to your mind. You're ready now, or maybe they're getting ready. They cursed their own fate by cursing you. You have triumphed over this conflict. And now they're in a nightmare and losing their freedom because there's evidence of them dominating people. You were able to maintain your inner peace, your inner harmony. You were able to keep yourself balanced. You are the true epitome of temperance. And this is the conclusion of this. You're coming into the fruits of your labor. Your energy is so big, so powerful. You've got a lot of really great ideas over everything that you've been able to bring to light, over these offenses, this horrible, horrible game that these invasive species was doing to the planet and to humanity and all other animals here. These ones are furious because you love yourself. And they want to apologize for hurting you, for causing you to crash your car, lose your house, for unexplainable nervous system disorders of your family members and yourself. There's good news here. This mask wearer is having some issues in their head. They're stubborn, they're arrogant, they don't want to hear it. They've got a broken mind. They're messed in the head. This is a genetic experiment gone wrong. And they want to compromise. But these sweethearts, they want to compromise for what they did to these sweethearts in the history. But your alliances are overloading them, overwhelming them. They have a vow to the gift, which is you, and you are being shown a mercy. You are promised that family that you have always wanted, that you have always longed for. And these prideful people that were bribed to harm you are sick now. The bully fell into a trap. And I heard the other day that there's no more offering services to the bully. These bullies that hurt people, that laughed about it, that stole things from others, that pretended that they were the ones who did it, that they were the ones who actually are successful, when they're nothing more than a pet cemetery, a dead person. They have the value of dead men and women. These are fraudsters. They're tricking people with their dishonesty. So it's time for balance. It's time for inner peace. It's time for you to have a decent life, and there's nothing they can do about it. They stole it from you by being trickery and fraud. You gave them the easy life, and now they're missing you. Isn't that funny? These people who were feeding on you cannot go where you're going. Nope. It's time for these people who maintain balance during this extreme freaking challenge. You're going to go get peace. You don't have to deal with this forever. This isn't going to last forever. They're going to be moved off the planet. So we've got, they're in a 5 of Pentacles defeat because of a romance with an uninvited guest. They were really in love with the idea of torturing humanity, RAPing children, tapping into those corpuscles of the vertebrae, ramming themselves up through that anal cavity of a child. Frickin' snake. Calling yourself a man. And those who support them for centuries. So they're losing everything for this romance or bromance with this uninvited guest. Yes, luck is on your side. They have to move on. You are unavailable. They've got to keep your distance. It could be that you're at a distance physically from your partner, from your true person. There's flight here, getting off the planet. They're going to be sucked right off the planet. And then they sabotage themselves. They're being prepared for fodder. They're going to be fed upon by those entities or other entities that they were feeding you to, earth angels. They're frightened. They're paranoid. Hope and fear. We've got 10 of Wands, burden, psycho, crazy, obsessed, won't let go of these affairs, these mistresses, these third-party scams. They're not confessing of these vampiric relationships on earth, these soul ties. They don't want to be released. They still want to live the lie. You know, they want to live the lie. They're wearing a mask. They want to live the lie. They don't want to be released. You've got somebody here wearing a mask. This is a psycho, third-party enemy, uninvited guest. There are big changes happening here. They're trying to get a romance with somebody. This is the end of their relationship with batteries. God said they're done. This is the end of them feeding on his family. They're wearing a mask, looking at your 10 of Pentacles. They're coming up saying, I love you, presenting you with a wedding ring. They're rolling the dice, taking a chance, a risk, a leap of faith. They're not confessing that they are a third-party enemy. They're trying to hide it. They're taking a gamble. We've got wonder of the world. We've got this intelligent animal gripping tightly to this human woman. They see her as nothing more than animal. The animal, the psycho, freaking broken-minded, genetically modified tweaker, sees the human being, the divine mother, as an animal. She has escaped. And this prideful person doesn't know what to do now. They're not able to go in your direction. They can't go in your path. They're at risk. They're not wearing your glow up. They're not you. They don't have your soul. They were unsuccessful in this sacrifice, this profession. They may have to go get a job. We've got omniscience, your expertise. They're at risk. You have expertise. You're an earth angelic. You've a daughter, a beautiful, divine, beloved child of the Most High God. They're being warned. They were warned. They're here, trying to get into your destined path. You have triumphed. You're coming into your fate. And they are in conflict and a nightmare over this evidence that's going to lose their freedom. They're losing their freedom because they were bringing mental disturbances to a good and moral person. The madness never belonged to you. Those thoughts that were so disturbing, those self-loathing, angry thoughts of madness, it was never yours. It was a freaking soap opera that they were forcing into you as a delicate transmitter, receiver, organic instrument, divine. You're getting your marriage, and that is justice because you persevered. You were able to outlast them. Now they're being rejected by your alliances, and it could be that you are rejecting them when it comes to, because this curator, this psycho freaking jackwagon who won't let go of your energy or your mind, This is a mask wearing POS. His interdimensional masculine guide, guru, whatever, he's saying work together. So they're trying to get this person to come in and say, hey, let's work together. But the thing about it is that's what started all of this. So they were permitted to come in and to collaborate with humanity. And rather than collaborate with humanity, they decided to turn this into a game. And they decided to F people with their appendage and then sacrifice them, marry them, put a ring on it, and then sacrifice them to this devil, and then rob them of everything in their spiritual account. So these ones, your alliances are rejecting these ones due to the history of what they have done to these sweethearts, both of them, you and your person. They want to compromise. They don't want to hear it. They're getting ready for the backfire of these curses. Hey man, on the mind, on the mental mind, it's got to go back to them. They're experiencing madness. And they're trying to blame this woman. But the madness was never hers. The madness belonged to this crazy freaking psycho who is now wearing a mask, rolling the dice, trying to come in and get you back into a contract. They see your 10 of Pentacles here. They see your adventure, and you have lived and learned a lot. You're going to take this right into your next union. These people are going to get screwed. They're not going to survive. This psychotic POS bastard and any of his broho friends or their feminine copycat freaking leaders. I'm sure that there are some really good women out there in leadership positions, but there is at least one who thinks they own the people of the earth. They think that they actually run the earth. There's an organization present like that, and they're in cahoots with these other devils, these uninvited guests, this invasive species, to screw over God and the daughters of Eden as they turned Eden into a brothel, a battlefield, and a slaughterhouse where everybody gets effed, whether they like it or not. And God said enough is enough. And now this mother figure, there's this beloved child of the Most High. They have been reunited. These two, this is the prodigal son as well. The prodigal son is back. He is with his twin flame. This is divine intervention. They will not be sacrificing any more earth angels, and they will not be feeding on them. It does not matter the threats they make, the little whiny statements they make, their little religious piety, trying to say that God doesn't love me because what? Because I'm telling a story. This is divinely connected. This reunion isn't devilish, but the devil is here. There's the truth of the devil here robbing people of their heart bonds, of their love. And you got these religious gold-digging snake mirrors wanting to come in and bitch. You know, these he-she's, these he-she's, man, in competition for the royal positions. And if you look in history of kings and queens and presidents and their wives or whatever, it's really obvious that it's two men. These jackwagons have been doing this for a long time. They put a ring on it and then they sacrifice them to the devil. They deny the woman her heart bond. They rob her of everything that she has coming to her from the Most High God in order to develop a beautiful family tree. And they take it all and they go out and be freaking reckless sex cornholio. Entitled childish shits that have money and gifts and authority that they were never supposed to have. They're not responsible enough. They're too hateful. And they're murdering every freaking buddy with these stupid sacrifices. They're either red running people or they're effing them to death. Or turning them into a freaking Jezebel so that they can sacrifice the babies or eat them or whatever. And again, we've got distant. They're warning. These illusionists are being warned. Keep your distance. These are, you have a victory here, a public victory. You are a beloved child of the Most High God, the Father. You're bringing a change here regarding the mirroring of this snake and their lies so that they can gold dig and rob people. These are broken-minded, genetically spliced and experiments of whatever, psychobabble, psycho won't let go, crazy hoe bags. They're just here effing everything. It's like they can't think straight. They gotta wear a mask. This is a psycho, man. They have to wear a mask in order to be accepted by anybody because they're freaking insane. And you know what the funny thing is that this little curator, POS, is calling the protectors, the guardian angels of these temperance angels. They're calling the guardians psycho. And it's so cool. So super cool that the guardian angels are scarier than you POS. A little over the top, maybe. They were doing everything they could to rob you of the things you needed to fulfill your needs. You're not a third-party enemy. You never were. You didn't buy into that. So they sacrificed you. You're like, I don't want to do that. You're here with a divine mission, and you got these uninvited psycho, mask-wearing, gold-digging, hoe-bag devils screwing everything up. And it's ending. It's ending. Their harvesting in this sacred space is ending. Absolutely not. They will no longer be feeding or tormenting anybody in this sacred space. Absolutely not. We have got the mother and the father right here, or we have at least divine couples, temperance angels coming together, those sons and daughters of the Most High. Reunited, and it feels so good. Reunited, and we understood. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. We both look so excited 'cause we're reunited. Hey, hey. Lovers together, deep love. Beautiful love. We've got a thug here and some nasty, trashy photographs of what they have done, this boogeyman, with their little knife, their little mask, to the woman. This pet, this kitten. They were not able to separate you from love or from loving. And now those who were preying on your downfall have to keep their distance. And they're grieving. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had planned. They're grieving. They have to keep their distance. This is a thug. And they're going under. They're drowning. They're drowning in their own mess. This is a thug, and they're drowning in their own mess. Secrets? Secrets. So they're resisting. They've got secrets. They're not telling the whole truth. They're daydreaming about being you. And you're not dealing with no third parties. We've got third party in the reverse over here. And we've got affairs and mistress third party. Psychobabble, won't let go. Obsessed with you, wearing your face. This psycho is obsessed with wearing your energy and your face. They've been doing it for thousands of years. They want to do it again. They have mentioned so many terrible stories about the woman and how they conquered her, like Medusa, cut her head off. You know, after doing all these horrible things to her, they did that, and then they said she was, you know, whatever, man. Whatever, man. These entities, these uninvited guests with these appendages that they feel is so freaking divine, these broken-minded whack jobs, wearing the mask of somebody else. There's punishment here. The punishment is you're saying goodbye. It's an eternal regret for this narcissist. They were doing genetic experiments on those who love. They were Frankensteining people and neglecting them, failing to give you what you needed. This routine of going back and forth between dark and light, and, you know, cursing you with the darkness and feeding you to the devil, and then going back and asking God to protect them from you because you're so mean. It's over. It's over. You're a high value person. You have your inner peace, and you live a simple life. You live a simple life. And you got an exit plan. You're out of here. You're saying goodbye. You're saying goodbye to this narcissist who was Frankensteining you and your love. You made it together anyway. You came back together, and there's still love. There may be some, I mean, even with all of the insanity that they tried to move through you, you're still very much stable. And they're mad. Many flames are here, balanced. You are serendipity. You are the catalyst for divine intervention when it comes to this devil. It's time for you to go relax and just experience peace, balance, harmony. And there's nothing that these ones can do about it. There's many flames here. Of course, the pet cemetery genius animals are upset because they can't go where you're going. They miss you. They were living in the moment, and now they miss you. Burned. Burned. There's messaging that they're going to be recycled. They may get burned. They may get burned. Preparation. They're being prepared for fodder, and they could get burned. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. This is an uninvited guest, and somebody thought it was a great idea to have a bromance. Yes, luck is on your side. Move on. You are unavailable. They need to keep your distance. Keep their distance. There's flight. They got to leave the planet, and they sabotage themselves. They're paranoid. They're going to go be fodder. There's a 10 of Wands burden that this psycho who won't let go of these third-party mistresses, they may think that you're a mistress. This psycho in some other lifetime may have actually had an intimate encounter with you, and then they decided from that point forward that they were going to siphon your energy, your gifts, and wear your face, and they were going to present themselves as you to the world, and the whole world said, look at that Christed being, look at that angel, oh, that's my savior. And this person was actually selling themselves as people's savior. They would harvest the energy out of a sacrificed temperance angel, and then they would give it to a clone or whoever it is that is a servant, a low vibrational, do as I say, not, and you know, whatever. There's a feminine out there who thinks that she's really big in the world, and perhaps she has been. And she's telling these masculines that it's because of them that they're having to deal with this, that they've destroyed everything that they were trying to accomplish here. Of course, they wanted humanity living in little rock, you know, shelters, eating bugs. They broke all their promises. They came here to collaborate with you, and instead they collaborated against humanity, and they used their favorite weapon of war called relationships and intimate encounters and broken promises and wedding rings that turned into a sacrifice or a drowning, some kind of red rumming. These husbands, so-called uninvited guests portraying themselves as husbands, were red rumming their earth angelic wives while they siphoned out the spiritual inheritance and tried to destroy the family of God. They're going to get exactly what they deserve. Exactly. Nothing less. And none of these earth angelics, stop begging for help. You freaking rapist. Curator, you're a drag. You're a real drag, man. Freaking drag. You're a freaking drag on the dark side, and we don't need to swim your shadow anymore. You know? Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon can shine down on us with that stuff if we want that. You're childish. This is a childish psycho that's been accustomed to wearing the mask of an earth angel, wearing that energy, tricking themselves into thinking they were just like them. But as soon as they lost access to that energy, as soon as they failed in a proper savior sacrifice, it's very clear they're nothing except a psycho. They're not going in a new direction. Everything that they built on the sexual energy of others is crumbling. They left you alone, and you're not going to be this way forever. You're tired, and you deserve a break from this. These people's lives are in pieces. They're unable to free themselves from this situation, and they want forgiveness for not being willing to settle down with you. Everything that you no longer need is falling away to make room for the love that you deserve, even though these rat bastards are reaching out, trying to connect to you with this marriage contract. Love is eluding them. They got caught up in a blind spot. God is fierce. They are going to lose. You're being aggressive, and they have lost. They have lost their diamond. They have lost the Christed being. They are guilty of putting them in a rabbit hole. Rabbit, 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 and then neglecting them with these stupid little games of love. They're having anxiety. Things are real hard. They gotta face it. They're crushed because you're leaving them to deal with their own struggle. Your leaving is going to cause them a great big struggle, and you don't even have to think about it. That last knife that I took to the chest, I'm telling you, I hope I never, ever, ever have to deal with an entity like this again. My soul has been so freaking imbued with the torment of these ones. I could probably pick upon them from a whole nother planet. I could be saying, there they are. Go get them. And I suppose that what we have been experiencing and the bruises and the scarring and the tenderness of our soul right now is just full of the reality of these ones. We can pick up on it. Many of you are probably going to be planetary sentries. You know, you'll be like, you got this heightened sensitivity when it comes to this particular energy now. So, and you found out all they were doing with this mirror magic and all of this stuff. So, I don't think this is going to be happening again. And the nice thing is that I like to think about is that all of this information that has been imbued into your soul will be birthed into your seed, your children. They'll have this inherent knowing. Their alert systems are going to go off. So, you know, they'll just need to know why that's happening, I suppose. And the story will need to be told. I hope that this brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. I know that sometimes I get a little excited about this. Oh, it's a little hot in here. I got a fire going and it's warm. May you be also warm in your home, warm in your heart, and warm-blooded. Stay alive, staying alive, staying alive. See you on the next one, everybody. Bye.